Check out Ensemble for These Times' upcoming concert, Women in Transit, on April 4th, a collaboration with the San Francisco Conservatory of Music Tech Department, featuring a multimedia program that explores women's migration and identity. For more information, go to www.e4tt.org.
Welcome to For Good Measure, an interview series celebrating diverse composers and other creative artists, sponsored by a grant from the California Arts Council. I'm Nanette McGuinness, Artistic Executive Director of Ensemble for These Times. In this week's episode, we finish our Lunar Module mini-series with E4TT's Lunar Composition Lab Call for Scores winners and commissioned composers. Today we continue talking to Caleb Palka, who we spoke to in June 2024. Tune in next week as we resume our second season. Would you say that you think of yourself primarily as a vocal composer or equally other things?
I think I like doing a mix of everything, but I definitely see myself wanting to pursue writing for voice a lot more in the future as well.
Oh, good answer. Appropriate and good. Let's shift gears a little bit here. Are there any mentors, interests, or influences you'd like to share with us? You mentioned a little bit. Do you want to expand?
Yeah. Well, I think probably my biggest inspiration is nature. I love reading a lot about just reading a lot of nature writing, a lot of nature poets, like Mary Oliver, or nature essayists, like Brian Doyle. There's a lot of authors who I really enjoy. I really love Ross Gay, his writings about nature. And I think that just sort of going for a walk in nature and noticing little things often helps me get unstuck when I'm working on a piece. I think that the kind of sense of time that I feel when I'm walking in the woods is often the kind of sense of time that I maybe want to bring the audience to in a piece. And the sense of awareness of all the sort of aliveness around me in the woods, and the kind of connection is something that the kind of connection that I think I want to kind of cultivate in my music as well. So
yeah, there are a number of composers over the centuries who have found that to be an inspirational panacea, if you want to combine two words unusually.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about, do you enjoy reading Thoreau and those? Emerson, or not quite back that far?
I haven't read that much Thoreau. I think primarily I read a lot of science writers, oh, I'm trying to think of Ed Yong has a book recently about how animal senses work, or there's this book by I think Jennifer Ackerman about owls and sort of new science on them and stuff.
So more recent than Jared Diamond's
reading a
writing.
lot of I guess popular science writing that kind of discusses things in detail that way, as well as I like the sort of more lyrical side of lyrical essays or poems that are approaching nature in that different way. Yeah.
Right. Modern Walt Whitman's, as it were.
Yeah.
What about mentors?
Yeah. Well, I've been really fortunate to participate in the Young Composers Project, as I mentioned, and also Luna Composition Lab. It's been really amazing. The piece that I wrote when I was a fellow for them was also very inspired by nature, looking at birds that I observed in Oregon and connecting those birds to memories of my late father, who I enjoyed bird watching with, and using those bird calls as a kind of way into the piece. So I think I've always been very inspired by nature and kind of the deeper symbolism that I can sometimes find in it as well. And yeah, it's also been really amazing going to USC and studying with all of my teachers there. I really love that we rotate from teacher to teacher each year.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of different perspectives on things, which I really value.
That's really nice. I'm sorry about your father, though. You said your late father.
Yeah.
Who was your mentor at Luna?
Ellen Reed. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Nice. Okay,
I
that's
really loved
great.
working with her.
Yeah, yeah. Great. Is there anything we haven't talked about that you'd like to bring up or mention?
Um,
We were pretty thorough, so it's
not
okay to
that I
say
can
no.
think of. Yeah, not that I can think of at the moment.
Great. All right. Well, thank you. This was very interesting, and we're so looking forward to your piece for us.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to For Good Measure, and a special thank you to our guest, Caleb Palka, for joining us today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to our podcast by clicking on the subscribe button and support us by sharing it with your friends, posting about it on social media, and leaving us a rating and a review. To learn more about E4TT, our concert season online and in the Bay Area, or to make a tax-deductible donation, please visit us at e4tt.org. This podcast is made possible in part by a grant from the California Arts Council and generous donors like you. For Good Measure is produced by Nanette McGuinness and Ensemble for These Times and designed by Brennan Stokes, with special thanks to co-producer and audio engineer Stephanie M. Neumann. Remember to keep supporting equity in the arts and tune in next week for Good Measure.